This presentation describes the UK private motor insurance market from the perspective of Aviva, covering the following areas. The market, an oligopoly with a long tail, is described as mature but growing steadily, currently worth between 12 and 13 billion pounds. Aviva is a strong performer consistently in the top three, equating to around £2 billion in revenue. However, since 2013, its market share of gross written premiums has dropped from 13% to 7.7%, with Admiral Group bumping Aviva from second place and Direct Line retaining the top spot. What can Aviva do to prevent further loss of market share? Let's start by looking at what is going on in the macro environment using pestle analysis, focused on four key themes. Firstly, self-driving cars. As the population ages, pensioners will want to continue to maintain their independence for as long as possible. Could autonomous cars be the solution? And if so, who is insured, the car or the driver? New laws in the Automated Vehicles Bill will provide clarity on how liability for accidents should be apportioned. Is Aviva prepared for this? For younger generations, car ownership is less desirable, particularly as green credentials become a more important consideration. With car sharing becoming more commonplace, what insurance products will be required? This demographic is also data savvy, willing to share their data only if they see the benefits. This links with the growth of telematics-based insurance. Significant investments are being made in data analytics for customer insights, yet cybersecurity risks continue to pose a growing threat to organisational data as well as connected cars. How much investment is required in this space? And of course, Brexit. Politically, the impact of Brexit remains unknown, though new tariffs or other potential trade barriers can be assumed. From an economic perspective, Brexit may also lead to a significant rise in the cost of repairs and imported car parts due to further weakening in sterling. What will this mean for insurance premiums? Now let's look more closely at the competitive environment using a five forces analysis to understand the powers at play. Supplier power is moderate. Key suppliers include IT companies, software houses and reinsurers. There's a lack of substitutes in these sectors and insurers are reluctant to onboard new systems. Buyer power is high. Despite the number of customers, loyalty is low, with many searching for the lowest available premiums and often switching once their contract is up. The growth of price comparison websites has facilitated this, with policies offering the same basic service. Differentiation is restricted to areas such as excess costs or add-ons, such as breakdown cover or legal protection. The threat of new entrants is moderate. Appealing factors include the lack of product differentiation and low fixed costs. However, economies of scale can prove an entry barrier, as motor insurers have to sell enough policies to cover claims. Regulations also serve to discourage new entrants. The threat of substitutes is weak. As motor insurance is a legal requirement, insurers face virtually no indirect competition. Whilst buyers can choose other forms of transport over car ownership, none are a direct substitute as they offer very different transport propositions. Rivalry is moderate. Factors increasing rivalry include the large number of players, the lack of differentiation, the ease with which players can expand through acquisitions or organic growth, and the ability of the large insurers to exploit economies of scale. Rivalry is reduced by the ease with which players can exit due to low fixed costs. The diversity of players' portfolios means they do not rely on the motor insurance market, as many offer alternative products and services. The similarity of business models also reduces rivalry, as it's easier for players to anticipate competitors' behaviour. So how has Aviva positioned itself against the competition? To gain competitive advantage, Aviva has employed strategies to defend, influence or exploit the high and moderate forces at play. Aviva's scale is used to defend against supplier power by partnering with selected suppliers to maintain competitive margins. Aviva uses influencing strategies against rivalry forces. Its strategy of focusing on brand and customer service sets the bar in the market, influencing rivals to have to keep up. Behind the scenes, Aviva tailors behaviour towards rivals when dealing with claims in an attempt to influence how those rivals respond. Thirdly, its strategy of avoiding price comparison websites attempts to influence rivals in the industry away from race to the bottom prices. Aviva employs a number of strategies to dampen the high buyer power in the market. Its focus on digital channels and customer service seeks to increase customer retention levels and attempts to differentiate Aviva through ease of use. However, we know from the drop in market share that the current approach to competitive positioning is not having the desired effect. So what strategic assets does Aviva have that it could draw on to improve its position? Aviva has strengths in terms of brand, financials and multi-product offering and skills and customer experience. The findings of a 2018 Mintel survey show Aviva in a clear lead as the favourite brand for UK motor insurance among consumers. Yet in terms of brand strength, a consumer intelligence survey completed in the same year saw Aviva in 5th place, trailing behind Direct Line and Admiral. Likewise, Mintel puts Aviva in the lead when it comes to provision of an excellent customer experience, just ahead of RAC and LV. However, while still in a good place, in the latest customer survey from which Aviva comes fourth to RAC, LV and Direct Line. Considering financial strength, the two multinational general insurers, AXA and Aviva, dwarf the other players in the UK motor insurance market. Can Aviva make more of this? In terms of services, Aviva's UK offering includes the full range of insurance and investment products, such as home and life insurance and pensions. No other provider offers the same range of services in the UK. From the evaluation of Aviva's strategic assets, brand strength and customer experience have question marks about whether these capabilities are truly rare. And whilst Aviva's financial strength is rare, Direct Line success shows it is not essential. Finally, the consumer value of having multi-products with one provider, allowing Aviva Motor to effectively cross-sell, is yet to be proven. So what next? The following key questions have arisen from the analysis, which will be used to inform our proposals to the board on the future competitive strategy for Aviva UK Motor Insurance. Is Aviva well positioned for the forthcoming changes in data ubiquity and self-driving cars? Could Aviva improve its exploitation of the buyer power facilitated by price comparison websites? How can Aviva use the asymmetries of its financial strength and multi-product offerings to better effect in this market? And finally, how can Aviva overtake Direct Line to be number one in UK motor insurance?